and open to your questions. I'll just take a moment. Just Andrew, do you want to say a few words on behalf of?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm Andrew Wright. I am the Senior Director of Policy and Budget for Councilmember Crystal Hudson. She apologizes. She can't be here today. She's actually right now still at City Hall. Voting went very late. We just finalized negotiations on the City of Yes text amendment that many of you might be familiar with. I just want to say very quickly to kind of contextualize why we're here today. So what we saw today is the direct result of what a lot of people in this room told the people on this side of the room. We had, as Jonah mentioned, about 12 public events in which we heard the key priorities that everyone here believed need to be incorporated into this neighborhood plan. So we're talking about deeply affordable housing. We're talking about more open space. We're talking about small business support. What that happened after we put out our recommendations packet is it went to the agencies, they reviewed it, and they said, we have these tools. We can use these tools to help you implement these changes. And now we're here with their proposal for what that looks like. I want to be very clear. This is a proposal. We're here to talk to you, to hear from you about what you like, what you don't like. There are some new things in here that you may not have heard before. And I want to be very clear. The council member and our team are here to listen to you and work with the agencies to make this a plan that best reflects the needs of the folks in this room and the broader community. If you have any other questions after all of this, you know where to find me, and I can give cards out at the end as well. But thank you to the agencies, especially DCP, HPD, and SBS for being here. And thanks, Joe.
I didn't hear a thank you for CB8.
I'm sorry, yes. Thank you, Chairwoman for CB8.
Okay, guys, so I came to the front of the room for a couple of things. As the chair, I call on people in the order that they speak. I'm going to ask a question. So one of the things I just asked Jonah is would I be able to get a copy of the deck this evening so I can distribute it through the land use meeting group? And if you're not on that list, I would strongly encourage that you go back to the green sheet and legibly write your email addresses, okay? So let's start. The green sheets are in the back of the room. If you haven't put down your email.
Good evening.
Thank you all for being here so late, and I'm sorry that I'm late. We had a stated meeting today, which is when we vote on all of our bills, and usually they start at 1:30, and ours didn't start until 6:30 this evening. So that was what kept me. So thank you, Andrew, for holding it down in my absence, and thanks to City Planning for making the presentation. I do want to make one thing clear, which is that City Planning is presenting their version of the rezoning, which is just one version of the rezoning. We spent over a year doing public engagement, public workshops, meetings. Hundreds of people came out month after month, week after week, and from that we created a community plan. And so there's a gap between the community plan and the Department for City Planning's plan. And so obviously this part of the process, which is further public engagement and the ULERT process formally, hopefully we get to a place that will be closer to what the community plan was, but somewhere between the two plans. So I just want to make that clear. There were a lot of things brought up that I heard, so I forgive me, I'm not going to remember everything. There was a question about homelessness specifically. I don't know the exact rate of homelessness now, but there was an article that just came out recently. I think it was in the Times, but it may have been a different outlet, about the number of kids in our school system who are experiencing homelessness. That number has skyrocketed. I remember just a few years ago, it was about 100,000 students, and now it's even higher than that. And frankly, we're just not doing enough to prevent homelessness. One of the ways that we can do that is by building more housing, but that's not an immediate fix for the people who are experiencing homelessness today, right? Because this is going to take years for these units to come online. But we have what I would consider to be terrible policies that exist that have come from this mayoral administration, like forcing people out of the shelter system after 30 and 60 days. It's something that the City Council has been fighting very ferociously against and trying to reverse that policy. We passed a package of bills that would lower the barriers for people to get housing vouchers. which would put housing vouchers in people's hands much faster and hopefully getting them into apartments much faster. We're also trying to address housing discrimination, but that is a behemoth that, takes a lot of different things to address. And then the mayor vetoed those package of bills. We're actually in litigation right now, trying to move those bills forward. So the city council is trying to do everything it can to reduce the number of people who are experiencing homelessness, to undo a lot of the predatory policies that we have in place. But also legislation takes time and litigation takes time. And so I wish I had an immediate, easy answer for you all and for everybody. I will say that when we have a lot of these housing conversations, the people that we hear most from are the people with homes. And so the people without homes, and I trust me when I tell you, they want to see housing be built. And that's just the reality, because part of our housing crisis is that we have a housing shortage. And so, I